Well, as from 6 a.m., or rather as from this morning, travelers from South Africa, Nigeria and 9 other nations will no longer have to do a 10-day hotel quarantine on arrival in the UK. This follows the UK government officially removing all 11 countries from its travel red list due to the new Omicron coronavirus variant taking hold. President Cyril Ramaphosa and the UK travel industry had sharply criticised the reintroduction of the red list at the end of last month. For more on the story, we're joined via Zoom by the Minister for International Relations, Dr. Naledi Pandor. Dr. Pandor, a very good morning and thanks for making the time to speak to us. South Africa's reaction to this development.
Good morning, Desiree. Well, we welcome the development. We think, the decision should never have been made in the first place. We've repeatedly stated we believe it was an irrational, unscientific, knee-jerk reaction by the UK government, which is not supported by any evidence that we have garnered in the last 18 months of this COVID-19 pandemic.
Do we know what brought about the decision?
Well, we heard a rather peculiar statement, I thought, from the Health Secretary that there is now extensive community spread in the UK. I mean, this is how the virus behaves. So to think that a travel ban would prevent community spread merely suggests a lack of understanding of the virus and how it impacts on individuals and communities. So the reasoning to me sounds most strange. I think what happened is they realized that the sectors of the economy most impacted by this decision are up in arms in all the affected countries because they know the science. They know what the World Health Organization has advised. They know what the G20 has said. They know what the United Nations has said. So I think they came up against a wall of resistance and ridicule and realized they needed to lift this travel ban. I hope other countries will follow suit.
Up to the announcement of this decision, relations between the two countries were seemingly on the mend. We were hearing of President Cyril Ramaphosa making a direct call to the Prime Minister regarding the initial putting of South Africa on the red list. How has this latest decision to put South Africa on the red list, how has it affected relations between South Africa and the UK?
Well, I think it has harmed a trust in what is a long-established friend. But of course, as I've reiterated, in diplomacy, you don't have permanent enemies, nor do you have permanent friends. So we will continue to interface with the United Kingdom. It is a very important trading partner for our country, and we have long-established relations which we should ensure remain strong and relations that should grow. The UK had been among the countries that provided early support to us as the pandemic hit South African shores. And so we did find their action really odd and totally out of sync with available scientific information.
Of course, this announcement comes on the heels of your report just the day before of South Africa's place in the world during this financial year. Just take us back to that report and how South Africa's global relations are progressing at this time.
Well, I think South Africa continues to be very active in a range of international bodies, multilateral institutions, particularly in the context of the United Nations and, of course, the African Union. But the stress of the year for us was to ensure that we maintain established links, but also to advance a number of goals that South Africa has set itself, particularly with respect to economic diplomacy, in regions such as East Asia, where we are beginning to make a mark through the work of various departments and the private sector in South Africa. We also had a very, very strong focus on the African continent and have done a lot of work with the leadership of President Ramaphosa in re-strengthening links between South Africa and countries in the West Africa region of the continent. I am really thrilled that President Ramaphosa undertook the first ever state visit to Côte d'Ivoire of democratic South Africa since the establishment of diplomatic relations in 1992. We also were vocal in the context of the African Union in our rejection and objection to the granting of observer status to Israel in the AU, and we are going to continue to argue that this was a decision by the African Union Commission chair that is totally without merit.
Yeah, and just taking us back to that UK decision, Minister, as sad as the development was, but South Africa came up trumps in a way in terms of the recognition of the research prowess of the country. How will DERCO, for argument's sake, use this strong position going forward?
Well, we've always promoted the science capabilities of South Africa. We have excellent links with the science and innovation community worldwide, particularly in Europe and in the United Kingdom. I was rather astounded to hear that the Health Secretary of the United Kingdom claimed in their parliament that it was the UK that first drew alert to the Omicron variant of this virus, when it was South African scientists that made the first public announcement. It is possible that there are countries that were aware there's a new variant, but they said nothing. But the South African scientists did the excellent sequencing and transparently alerted the world to this new variant.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. We'd like to have you back at some point to talk more about the work of the department especially. But just a quick one, as we go into 2022, what challenges are you meeting in terms of the fight against COVID-19 and latest developments? We asked our viewers today to take part in a conversation with us, and one viewer was saying, you know, COVID-19 is part of our lives now. We just need to get on with life and making sure we do the right things. Is this the right way to go about it?
Well, certainly, scientists are beginning to say it's going to be with us for some time, and we need to learn how to live with it. This is why the government continues to appeal to South Africans, one, to take the most important step of protection, which is to vaccinate. 2, to continue to wear a mask. 3, to sanitize regularly. 4, to avoid large gatherings. If we keep to those measures, we will be protected from harm. If we neglect to keep to them, we will become affected. So I really appeal to all South Africans, please, please get vaccinated. So many of our compatriots on the continent do not have the access we have. And it's vital that we, as South Africans, do take the measure to ensure that we not just protect ourselves as individuals, but we protect our families and our society at large. So if we take these measures, I believe we will be able to carry on the rebuilding and reconstruction process and learn to cope in the context of what has proven to be one of the largest and most significant challenges democratic South Africa has confronted since we attained freedom.
The Minister of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, Dr. Naledi Pandor. Thanks for your time.